Right. So, but first of all, just how did you get involved with this movie?
Well, I was really lucky to get involved really early on. I was really lucky to get involved super early on. I had Vin had always sort of had me in mind for the character of Adele. Yeah. He's really hands-on because this is his baby. He loves Xander, and he's a producer on it as well. So he got the script sent to me via Joe Roth, another amazing producer. And I read up to kind of my opening sequence to find out that she was an animal activist in her spare time. And I was like, I'm absolutely doing this film.
Done.
Yeah, done deal. And knowing that Sam Jackson and Vin were doing it, that's all I needed. And as the cast grew, I realized that I'd made a wonderful, wonderful decision.
It was so refreshing to see a girl on in this kind of movie, which I could relate to, which wasn't. You know what I'm trying to say? She's so badass, and she doesn't have to use sexuality to be super cool. And I was just like, amen, sister, in the cinema. I was so happy to see
that's
such a kick-up.
Definitely, one of the coolest parts of the film is having these three, really different, wildly different, unique female characters,
women,
that are really strong. And Adele doesn't use, sexuality to accomplish anything because I don't think she knows how. I just don't think her brain is wired like that. She's pragmatic and she's super skilled at, being a sniper, and I don't think it kind of really enters her mind as opposed to being a decision. I think she's just like, what?
And how, had you ever shot a gun before, or was it literally from scratch?
Yeah, I was really gun shy. I'd never seen one or touched one before. My first film, in the States, and I did two, but they were with much smaller handguns. And to move to a sniper is a completely different kind of machine. And they're 20 pounds, and you can't make them many. I was like, can we get this, but a lighter version? No, that's not a thing. And learning how to aim and how to take shots, and you really have to learn how to slow down your heart rate and take your breathing really seriously. And the wind and everything matters because you're taking shots from so far away. And learning all of that was really fascinating because I didn't know how much went into it.
And remembering your lines and hanging from a tree.
Yeah.
That's multitasking women. So.
Yeah, that's why they needed women in this film because men couldn't have done it.
I think I'd probably start off with a water gun and be like, guys, can we just build up?
Yeah, right? It should be really deadly with that. And now you're all wet. It's like you're in the Dominican Republic. It's boiling. We actually quite like the wet.
Now, I heard from Nina that there was a little bit of sort of pranking or some fun going on behind the scenes, but she wouldn't fully tell me what was happening. What was going on behind stage? Was there Well,
she made the mistake of saying to me one time that she was notorious for being this prankster and that, she was the best prankster in the world. And I'm like, come on now, come on. Let's see. And then that day she scared me, but she just hid in my trailer and she had her iPhone on slow-mo, which I was like, thanks, because nothing looks good in slow-mo. And she just jumped out and I was like, ah. But if it wasn't in slow-mo, it would have been 2 seconds. But in slow-mo, I was like, and I was like, that's it, you are gone. And so then it proceeded to be hundreds of photos of me in her trailer, so she looked obsessed with me. And I took out her actual costume and put in an outfit that I got from a sex store. I bought this little nurse outfit and put it in there and had it steamed by wardrobe, and she was like,
she didn't know
what? She had no idea. She was like, "Why on earth is this in my costume?" And costume were like, "No, it was Ruby." So we had a lot of that happening, and that was kind of one of the joys of working on set with Nina.
Nice. That's super cool. Do you like that this was a role that you got to fully display? Because tattoos were part of this movie. All the cool characters had there was lots of shots, and they even talked about it in the movie, this is from this when, this is from here. Were you happy that you finally got to show your art?
Well, yeah, but I actually, I made a decision to cover, so I went through the makeup process of covering all of them, or most of them, and then putting new tattoos on top that I thought would be more relevant to Adele, because some of them worked, but others, I didn't really think Adele would have a Ninja Turtle tattoo, for instance, and I kind of was like, maybe I'll change that. So I got things to do with, sniper, had things to do with that kind of the technical side of that, my kill count and the wind and all the mathematics on my knuckles, and just had it changed a little bit.
That's cool, because I did not notice that, so thank you.
They must look real then. I should thank the makeup team.
Yeah, no, seriously. I was like, oh, they used to have real tattoos. No. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're out of time. Thank you.
Awesome.